So I'm going to be talking about emotion as a service today. Now, there's kind of two ways to use emotion as a service, and we'll get into both of them. Before we start talking about emotion as a service, I wanted to kind of explain some of the benefits and why you might want to use emotion as a service. So just quick bullet points. So it's really, as you'll see, getting started is quick and it's pretty straightforward. And you might not want to invest time, your time integrating the SDK without understanding the data that you're going to receive from our products. For emotion as a service, it's a pay-as-you-go pricing structure. You pay like $1 a minute, and for the length of the video that you're using. And you can access it either through our website or using a web API to integrate into a script or program. We like to consider emotion as a service to be the easiest way to get started using emotional data. Okay, so next I'm going to show a quick demo. Now first, to get started with emotion as a service, you talk to somebody in our team and we set you up with an account. Then you can easily upload and retrieve data using our website. So if you go to index.affectiva.com/jobs, and you'll see if you have any jobs listed, you'll see them all listed here. To upload a file to get the emotional data, we're going to click New Job. Then we just choose the file to upload. And I created a couple of test videos yesterday that are just we'll see when the results are them, we'll see them there. But it's just me making faces at the camera, basically, as a test. So we have a choice of which metrics version to use. I would always encourage you to choose the current pack. Basically, some of these are set up for if you've been working with EaaS in the past and you want to keep consistency with your old data, the types of classifiers and the information you get from them, you might want to choose a specific one. But if you're just trying out products, I would recommend the current pack. So I'm going to press upload and run job. And what this is doing is I chose the file. It's now uploading it to our servers. And you'll see we come back with an entry. So this entry represents a job. You'll see the file name is chosen here. And you'll see that the job is actually queued up for now. So it's going to take a minute or two for this to run. These run on Amazon, so they're pretty quick. But it does take a little bit of time for that process. I'm going to refresh and see if we're done. Okay, so it's already done. The video I chose was very quick, so I wasn't expecting it to take very long. Now I can actually click this watch button here, and you can see the video of my faces along with the emotional data we received back from the service. All right. So we have these charts here, but if we go back to the page with the job, we can also retrieve our results in the form of JSON or CSV file. So if I download CSV, I can easily open it in Microsoft Excel or whatever program you like to use. Okay. So the file format is structured that we have a timestamp in the first column, and then each of the metrics to the right that we measure. Okay, so that's pretty much how quick and easy it is to get started with emotion as a service. I also wanted to demonstrate how you can use our API, and the way I'm going to do that is by using Python. I use the request library to post and retrieve data from the website. So just some simple setup at first. I'm going to import the request library that we need to make these requests. And I also set up a config file with my username and password so I didn't have to type them out here. Now, these next couple statements are just some basic setup so that we don't have to retype every time what we want to use for our authentication and our headers. The last one I'm typing in here is just the URL, so I don't have to keep retyping it. Okay, so our initial setup is done. Now I'm going to send a request to get all of my jobs that I have uploaded so far. So we're using a HTTP GET command, and we're setting in the header that we're going to accept JSON file as a response. And finally, we're using HTTP basic auth, so that's this user and password pair. And then I'm going to display the output by using the JSON command of the response. If we just put the response here, it'll give me the HTTP return code, but what we want to see is the actual output. So you see I have six or so jobs here listed here. Those are the ones I've already done. Now what we're actually going to do is create a new job, and so the way we're going to do that is by uploading the file. So this is a normal Python file open command. And then we have to set up a dictionary of key value pair to basically upload the file itself. So that's what I'm doing right now. So the key is entry _ job input, and then the actual file is going to be the data for that. So now I've set up my my file to be uploaded, and I'm creating a request. We're going to post that data to the API. So this might, oops, sorry about that typo. So this is taking a second because it's actually uploading the file. We'll see the star change to a number. So just to talk about the environment I'm using here, I'm using IPython Notebook. I find it to be pretty easy and straightforward to run and rerun Python code and adjust it as needed. Okay, so my request is done. So let's take a look at the response we got back. So this is giving me, it's telling me who I am again, and it's telling me what we uploaded, and then it's actually giving me the entry for the result. That's this self command in here. Okay, and then so we're going to get the actual URL that we're going to be used for to retrieve our data, and that is just this self item here that I outlined, and I'm just going to display it on the screen. Okay, so we have our job URL ready to go, and we can actually check to see if the results are done. Okay, so the status is done, so it's all set. Now, as a trick, we can actually, if it wasn't done and we had to wait, we could set up a quick loop like this. And what that's doing is checking it's going to send a request and check the result. If there's no result item in the return code, we can sleep for 30 seconds. But we know it's done already, so it's not going to have to sleep. So now that we have our result, we can extract the metrics info from the item. So let's do okay. So we actually want to get the CSV. So what we're going to do is, the way I do this is with a quick Python list transformation. And I know it's going to be the first result of that list transformation because I'm only expecting to have one CSV. Okay, so I just extracted the CSV metrics info from the result earlier. Now we can actually pull down the CSV itself. By looking at the media key. Now I'm going to get the actual CSV file. And since it's not a JSON, we're actually going to use the content switch of the response instead of the JSON method. Okay, so we pulled down a lot of CSV data here. And so the next step is to actually change this into something that's usable in Python. I like to use pandas, and we'll put this into a pandas data frame so you can easily access the data and work with it. So first we're going to use the CSV module, so I'm importing that, and we'll make a reader. And the way the CSV reader works is it wants the content split into lines. So we'll just use the split lines function to do that. And then we're going to set up the delimiter that we want. And it's comma separated, so that's all we need to do. Okay, now here we could actually display the output split into lines if we wanted, but in this case I'm just going to go right and convert it to a list. and then we're going to import pandas and put that into a pandas data frame. Okay, so now we have a pandas data frame with our emotional data, and you can use this to sort through it and look at the different columns, everything like that. So there's one more thing that I wanted to mention that I didn't include in my demo was media annotations. Now you can use these media, you can basically post to your job URL media annotations that let you label your data. So labeling and sharing context of your emotional data with us is very useful when we're developing new classifiers. We can make them more accurate. Things like that. Having labeled data is very, very helpful. So I would definitely recommend anytime you upload a job that you also include, any type of labeling that you can, tags, things like that. Then the final thing I want to show you guys today is it's basically taking the work that we just did and making it into a Python class that can submit and download the items for you. So I'll post a link to this just in the WebEx chat, and that's about it for my presentation. So if there's any questions, I would be happy to help take them. If I can.
Should be at the top, the options, Q&A.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Sorry about that. Okay, so the first question is EaaS appropriate for smart TVs? Will a smart TV have sufficient computing power to do EaaS? Oh, that's a great question. Maybe I should have spent some more time in the beginning talking about what EaaS is. Basically, so Emotion as a Service, actually that would be a great use case for a smart TV, because since Emotion as a Service, the processing power is actually done on our Amazon cloud servers. So the smart TV would only have to retrieve the data and then post it to the website. So I think that this would be a good use case for Emotion as a Service. And I don't see, are there any other questions?
So can you reply to the one about session videos being taped?
Oh yes, sorry, I didn't see that. So yes, the session videos are all being recorded today, and will be available for viewing later on.
So what are the biggest use cases you've seen for Emotion as a Service thus far? What are people mostly using it for?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are using it to kind of get their feet wet with emotional data. If you just want to see, what type of information you can be working with before you go full out and integrate the SDK with your software. The other thing I've seen people use the Emotion as a Service for is to kind of, I don't know how much about our partners I can discuss, but some people are using it to get, as part of a automated system where they don't want to necessarily use the SDK, but they want to get emotional data, and this is a quick and easy way to do it. So one of our partners is uploading lots of small videos, getting the quick emotional response from that, and including that in their labeling. So those have been the biggest use cases, I'd say. Can you pay? Okay, I saw a question come in. Can you pay for priority processing for Emotion as a Service? So right now, we don't have that as an option, but it's definitely something that we've been working with our product teams and with the sales teams about, because I've seen a couple people have been asking for that. For right now, you don't really. I don't know that you necessarily need it, because there aren't a lot of. I haven't seen a lot of instances where our pipeline is clogged for that. But I will but I know it's definitely something that we're looking at.
Could you talk about the pricing model?
So the pricing, I mentioned that in the beginning, but the pricing model is it's $1 a minute for video. So you upload a video that's 2 minutes long, you pay $2 to get the emotional data.
Did you show it pretty fast?
Yep.
I was getting one.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's it for the questions. But if there are any other ones, I'd be glad to help you guys out. You know, you can email me, nick.bonfatti@affectiva.com, and I'll be glad to help out.